I've won big races before. League openers, inaugural events, a fixed Indy 500, but I'm still trying to win the votive Indy Derby.
Oh, Clindy's going to send it to the inside, and he goes from 2 positions deep at the restart to 3rd spot.
But Ward is coming back, and Eric Peterson is coming through, and also Jasper is coming
Orman
over there.
Future of virtual motorsports is now. This September, the heart of sim racing beats in Chicagoland as the Sim Gaming Expo takes over the Schaumburg Convention Center, September 5th through the 7th. Go wheel to wheel in our competition area, test the latest gear, meet top brands, creators, and celebrate with fellow sim racing enthusiasts. Whether you're a seasoned sim racer or new to the sport, this is your chance to be part of history. To purchase tickets and see the full exhibitor lineup, visit simgamingexpo.com.
Well, hello and good evening, everyone. I am Gary Gatto, and welcome to P1's coverage of Round 7. We're now in the second half of this season of Season 2 of the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series. We come to you tonight from Road America for the very first road course race in the brief season and a half history of this league. Joining me, as always, in the booth is Luis Gonzalez Nunez. And Luis, after weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of just making left turns for the first time in the open wheelers, we're going to be making left and right turns today at a very IndyCar driver-friendly race course of Road America, 4 miles in length. 30 laps tonight in start for us. 94 degrees on the track temperature, 74 degrees on the ambient temperature. Welcome to Road America.
Road America, wow, something with, you always said, and always I think, you have to know Road America is something, you have to know all the American drivers or sim racing drivers have to know America, Road America is something you have in your mind always. So it's like a tandem. It's happened in the fixer series, in the old fixed series, when the always is over, and then they decide, oh, at least we can put something road in this car, so let's do it. And this league do the same thing, and that's a good thing because we're gonna have a different names with the C before, and you have to be, if you're gonna be a champion, you have to make your experience around everything. So that is everything, and this is the Road America race. So it's gonna be interesting with the new names. We see, of course, in the bottom, but could be today in the front. So it's gonna be really nice race. It's gonna be for sure short. That's the good thing.
All right, let's get into tonight's starting lineup here from Road America. And on the pole for his first open wheel pole of his career, the two-time ISRA champion in the truck and Xfinity series is Lionel Callisto. On the pole right next to him is Micah Mixer. But Callisto very fast over P2, 0.3 of a second there. So, or actually not 0.3 of a second. It's kind of more like a second, but the way it looks like it's going to be like 0.3 of a second there. That is a really big gap. And some of these races that we've seen on the ovals were, first through 20th are separated on 1/10 of a second. 0.3 for the pole center. That is Callisto. Mixer right next to him. Another row 2, row full of road veterans. Richie Hearn, Craig Forsyth, teammates on row 2. Back in row 3, two guys that have had many fights already this season. Jacob Collins and Rick Ravon on row 3. Watch this row. Row 4 is Jim Herrick and Chris Reagan, the boss and one of his other drivers in row 4. And Lovern and Kirby in row 5. Remember, Kirby won at our only truck, or I guess NASCAR style race when we were in the truck series when we went to Watkins Glen. He run the only road course race we had in the 3 seasons of between truck and Xfinity. He was a winner there. He's going to line up 10th. Moving on, we got Stouffer and Rigney, our points leader, back in row 6. Marcamini and Irby back in row 7. Wags and Quilla on row 8. And back in row 9, we got Clindy and Corey Miller. And that is our 18-car field. Kind of a small field, but kind of what we expected here tonight is not a lot of people wanting to make the go on the road course. Many will use it as a drop week, but others see it as an opportunity.
So from second to Collins, they separate just for 1/10. But I think for sure that is gonna be the gap. This is gonna be the battle because Callisto, my God, is almost 4/10, almost half a second. Almost. It's not really exactly half a second.
Yeah.
Really, and then another page actually.
Here we go as we come to the green flag at the flag stand. Green flag in the air, and here we go. First road course race ever in the ISRA underway, and Lionel Callisto, big jump already to take the lead.
Oh no, Richard Hearn. Oh
Rick
no.
Ravon, just brute force a little bit. I don't think Rick Ravon necessarily brute force, but a lot of cars bouncing off each other. We got Craig Forsyth off.
And Richard Hearn with the front wing off. I think Mixer close, make the turn too close. Oh, Richard Hearn also a little loose on the entry on the turn 1.
And let's see where the action starts here. Coming down to the first turn.
Oh.
And actually they hide behind the tree a little bit. Let's go back a little bit in time. Watch this. We got
oh, Wagner also too. Have a maple flag. And Brian Irby also too is out. There's a lot of people out in this first lap.
Oh, and it happens. Oh, and it was started right at Micah Mixer. Micah had to check up a little bit. And it looks like that kind of slowed down the corner. And then here comes Forsyth trying to get into the braking zone. And he's like, oh. And then nothing against Rick. Just Rick had a full head of steam. And it looked like he kind of brute forced his way through there. But a lot of brake checking kind of going into the zone.
So let me know when you finish because there's more action up front. Is one more out on front.
All right, we're back to watching live action here. So a chaotic first lap as our leader is Callisto. Jacob Collins is now second. He's battling with Rick Ravon and Chris Reagan. That is a very tight second, third, fourth battle. Jim Herrick in fifth. Chris Stouffer in sixth. There he is. Gary Lovern in seventh. Mark Amini in eighth. Ty Quilla in ninth. And Rigney in 10th. And Rick Ravon getting around Jacob Collins there at the top of the hill. Here is a track map.
I can resume what has happened after all that incident. Wagner with middle flag contact in the turn 1. He tried to avoid the Forsyth out, and Justin Kirby in turn 5. He lost the car and hit the back wing. The wind is off. The towing.
Here comes Jacob Collins back to the inside of Rick Ravon in the Canada corner and gets the pass back. All the while, Lionel Callisto continues to pull away, 2.6 seconds up ahead of this group. But Collins getting the position back. Collins on the softer of the red tires. Rick Ravon losing a little bit of traction there coming off the corner there in turn 14. He is on the prime tire. Okay, so we're going to talk about some new terminology that we haven't talked about really in IndyCar racing at all since we've started the open wheel series here in the ISRA. We're going to talk about red tires, which are the alternate compound tire. We see Stouffer going purple with a time of 1:45.4. And then we're going to talk about push to pass, which we see Callisto and Rick Ravon on right now. That is push to pass, and we'll talk about the allocation on push to pass. So everybody needs to do a tire compound change at some point. This is at least a one-stop race, but you're going to have to save a little bit if you want to do this under one stop. If you push very hard, you might find yourself pitting at lap 13 or 14, and that is going to make the second half of this race a big fuel save for you. So a little bit of fuel save in the first half of the race to get to 15 laps, and maybe a little bit of fuel save in the second half of the race to get to 30 laps. But you will have to change tire compounds. So everybody who started on the prime tire, which is everybody you see on the tree right now, as we watch this battle for second, I will circle the tree. You will see this column right here. The red triangles, that means they're on the alternate softer tire. If you see the white triangle or the black triangle with the white outline, that means they're on the prime tire, which is the harder of the two tires. Those drivers will have to switch to the softer tire for the second half of the race. The drivers on the red tires now, they'll have to switch to the hard tire for the second half of the race. So, excuse me, let me say that right the first time. Those on the prime tire are going to have to switch to the red tire for the second half of the race. Those on the red tire are going to have to switch to the prime. That makes sense. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But that is the new rule that we have for road racing, as well as we have our push to pass allocation. We will show you that right now. And the push to pass allocation is right here. Now you see seconds. They have to push the button to give them a momentary burst of horsepower. They can use it to attack and to defend. As Jacob Collins now cutting into the lead a little bit of Lionel Callisto.
I'm really kind of surprised how Callisto cannot pull away. He's still 1 second over there. And my surprise also too is Rick Ravon in that pack with Reagan over there. I know Reagan is fast because I remember in the retro series in road is really fast. But Callisto, I remember Callisto in the IndyCar Lionheart series is super fast. It's always in the top 10, top 5 over there with all that guys. But they cannot pull away with 1.1 over Collins.
If you enjoy P1's coverage of the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and ring the bell. Click the bell button there so you don't miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcasts. And again, want to thank the fine folks at the Sim Gaming Expo for being there, for being the sponsor of the series. Don't forget, the ultimate gaming simulation experience is coming up. The Sim Gaming Expo is bringing all genres of simulation and gaming technology under one roof. Join us September 5th through 7th in Chicagoland at the Schaumburg Convention Center to try out the latest gear from the biggest brands in the industry. Meet your favorite streamers and celebrate your passion for simulation with our incredible community. Don't miss out. To learn more, to get your tickets today, go to simgamingexpo.com and be a part of simulation gaming history. Also this week, big week here for us on P1. We're excited to announce that we will have 2 p.m. this Saturday, the P1 600, a brand new crown jewel level event for the iRacing IndyCar community, a 600-kilometer, 186-lap battle at Michigan International Speedway. This Saturday, June 7th, 2025, an all-star invite-only roster of the IndyCar iRacing community will take the grid, competing for over $400 in prizes and Murph's money there. Stay tuned for more details. Of course, everything I think is out in the open now. All the entry applications have been submitted. We do, I believe, have a full field. We're going to be looking at close to 33 starters. June 7th in Michigan is going to be a race to remember. Don't miss it. 2 p.m. Saturday, this Saturday, from Michigan International Raceway. Win Murph's money.
Stoffer make the pass on Henrik for the 5th. Yeah. Now it's going to attack because it's the fastest guy on the track now. Stoffer going for Reagan.
And yeah, Stoffer and Reagan teammates there, and Herrick and Stoffer planned the pass very well. So Herrick didn't lose a lot of space to Lovern, who is currently in 7th.
Oh, Raybon make the pass. He's gonna make the pass. Yes, going set. Whoa, that's close.
Whoa!
Make the pass for second.
And I think that's because of the alternate tire. The trade-off is about 6 or 7 laps here at Road America, and that's when it tends to fall off, and the primes come back in.
It is so hard that corner, turn 5, 6. Because you come in on this bridge and the car is going to the hill, half hill, and then the car is going loose. So if you break in that hill, the car is going loose on your back, and then you have to make another turn for turn 6, and then it's getting another loose too, and you have that grass on your right. This is really one of the toughest for me. It's no reference actually. I can't even find it. Never found the reference over there.
Lionel Callisto out to another 2-second lead now. Is that battle, that lead he's had has kind of ebbed and flowed here. But now he's starting to pull it back out again. 2.4 over Rick, and then 2.9 back to Collins. We'll give you gap information here, so you'll know what the situation is like between positions. Closest battle on the racetrack really is that Stoffer-Herrick-Lovern battle. Kind of halfway through the first stint already. Gonna start seeing how strategies are going to develop here. It really is about, I mean, it's a definite, the intel we have really on IndyCar's saving fuel on the sim at Road America is pretty definite. It's about 14 laps. That's about as much as you can do here on a single stint. Now, some people can maybe strengthen out a little bit, but really 14 is about the sweet spot. Now, if you could make it to 15 and make this in one stop and not have to worry about anything else in the second half of this race, that is the way to go, and we're quickly getting a go-ahead.
Oh, Raybon loose on turn 14. That's the other turn. It's really close, Raybon, to lose the car in there. But all good for him, still on the track.
Here is Rigney, our points leader, and Tyquilla in a battle for 9th. Rigney's going to take a shot to the outside over Ty and move him up to 9th. Ty back to 10th. Ooh. Out to the dirt. Here are the points coming into today's race. There you go. And Rigney, leader by 14 over Jacob Collins. Then we got Craig Forsyth in 3rd, Clindy in 4th, Wags in 5th, Richie Hearn in 6th, Rick Ravon in 7th, Lionel Callisto, our leader, in 8th, Christopher in 9th, and Jason Collins in 10th. Not everybody in the lineup tonight. That's okay.
What do you prefer? 28 cars at field, and then in one turn, everybody's gone, and we finish with 10? Or this field, at least, well, that's something like a
pit stop
disappointment because
occurring. Chris Reagan coming to pit road.
Reagan.
Scheduled stop.
Interesting. This is so slow. 70. Oh my god.
Yeah, this is 45 miles per hour
45.
on pit road here. And he is working his way down to his stall. He needs to make... He doesn't need to make it on this stop because he's going to have to do another stop, but he's going to have to change tire compounds at some point. He is going to the primes right here. He's down and away.
So, this is the other interesting thing. We are 22 to go. It's 8 laps now, past for line. And you see the put to pass situation. And it's really critical for Raven because we have basically even past half a race, and he have almost 100.
We're looking at his number right now. Here's Rick number 117. Rick is the master of the spam today. He is spamming that push the pass button. Some people, especially if you drive too many ovals, you forget to map it because it is an additional button, and you don't need the weight jacker on these tracks, right? So you forget to map it, and then all of a sudden you see the oval drivers, halfway through a race, they're still at 200 seconds. No, Rick knows where that button. He's on it right now. He knows where that button is.
So, with all of this, we can really confirm in oval and road, the guy is pushing. It doesn't matter how, but he's pushing. It doesn't matter about the heavy fuel, just he wants to just push in the front.
Only about 4 more laps before you expect to see the leaders come in and start making pit stops. So we're going to see the more you use this button, which he's done it again, the more you use the button, the more it's going to use your fuel. So is he going to have to make a 2-stopper out of this?
I really, that's why maybe Callisto is really conservative with that. Maybe it's lift. We don't know yet. I am not on board with him, but maybe he's a little bit lifting costing on the in between corners, like 3 to 5 or maybe 14 to 1. That's a good saving fuel over there, actually.
Well, riding with him now is he's out of the carousel, coming to the kink. And now down the backstretch, heading to Canada Corner.
Nope. Oh. He is going full push.
Down the front stretch here at Road America. And here he comes down into turn 1. Very fast quarter. Little bit of extra space there at the end. And turn 2. This is actually turn 3. Turn 2 is that little kink that you just went through. This is turn 3. Another passing zone. This is turn 4. Down the backstretch here. This little kink right there. Believe it or not, that counts as a turn. And then we come into another passing zone, high brake zone area, turn 5. And then a very difficult turn coming up uphill. One of my least favorite quarters here because you can't see it until you get there. That's turn 6. Another passing zone right here in turn 7. And then we come down into turn 8. Another passing zone right here. Actually, this is more of a zone than 7, actually. And then into the carousel, which is single file. And this is where you want to kind of set up your run down the backstretch, through the kink, down the backstretch, into the Canada corner. Here we go through the kink. Down the backstretch now. And one more time in the Canada corner. And Callisto is your leader by 3 seconds now. Rick Ravon right behind in second. Jacob Collins is in third. Christopher is in fourth by some of the pit stops occurring. Micah Mixer. Micah's worked their way up to fifth. Lovern and Herrick, there's a battle brewing going into 1. Here we go. Herrick to the inside. Both on the button. In the 1. Side by side. Very good fight going through 1. Down at the bottom of the hill into 3. And again, Herrick on the button again. Down the straight into turn 5. This is the passing zone. He is in position. Into the braking zone. And Herrick gets it.
Yeah. A little bit loose on front on Harry, but he did a good turn for his side.
Closest battle on the racetrack now, besides that Lover and Herrick battle, is this Mixer and Stouffer battle. Lover and Herrick battling back. Lover gets the position back right before the carousel. Through Canada corner. And Herrick peels off the pit road. Herrick decides this is his opportunity to make a scheduled stop. This is going to bring him a little short, though. He'll need to make another stop. Meanwhile, back up front is Lionel Callisto. Rick Ravon, you see him making the shot turn around turn 6 there. Jacob Collins is in third.
As usual, Ravon's really loose in the corner, so it's really loose. But he is full attack, and you can figure out. For example, Callisto have the same tires like Ravon, but I don't see any problems on Callisto on each turn. Oh my God! I almost Almost Callisto loses on turn 13.
Callisto coming to pit road. Yeah, this is a scheduled stop coming to lap 14, so he might have to save fuel if he wants to do this on a one-stopper. Rick Ravon coming to pit road. Did he speed? No, but he got really close. Rick Ravon, 99 seconds of push to pass left, so he is on pace to use every second of push to pass in this race. Jacob Collins staying out, going long.
Nice. You need maybe 2 more laps, maybe. But it depends how he's in which engine map it is, or how is he doing in laps. Also, he's the only one without set Kirby and Chris Forsyth on back on 15-16. They don't use any second on the push to pass. Also, Ty Quilla also is.
Yeah, well, here's the push to pass. And Collins has not used it, and Ty has not used it. Ty now going long as well. So he is going for another lap. He will make it to at least coming 14, coming to 15. Lionel Callisto is out of the pits. He's down and away. He's got 187 seconds left. Rick Ravon at 99 seconds. Chris Reagan is at 96, so he's on pace to use every second of push to pass as well. Greg Forsythe down a lap. Ryan Irby down a lap. Corey Miller down a lap. Last car on the lead lap is Justin Kirby. And now we see Collins through Canada corner. Does Collins come to pit road this time, or does he go for one more lap? We'll see. This is really pushing the extreme edge of the fuel length of an IndyCar at Road America. And here he comes, coming to pit road. So this should be now for him a one-stopper. He should be able to push the entire way home. But again, there might be a fuel save on this second half. We'll see. Here comes Ty Quilla. Ty down the main straightaway. Ty's going to stay out one more lap. This will ensure that he can make this on one stop.
My question is, they know they have to swap compound.
Yes.
Because Callisto didn't, and Ravon didn't too. So they still use the same compound. The way he said it. So.
They must then know that they're going to have to stop again. So Ty Quilla yet to stop. He has assumed the lead. He's going to go one more lap. He's actually on push to pass this lap. He's using the button. So apparently he has just enough fuel. Oh, goes wide in 5. Oh. And the interesting thing for him is when he comes to pit road, he will be able to go to the alternate tire, and that alternate tire will have a much shorter stint. So he will be able to maybe get the best use out of that tire for this shorter stint. It is Ty Quilla, your leader right now, still looking to make his first stop. Lionel Callisto will pick up the lead when Ty comes to pit road, assuming this is Ty's in lap. We think it is. He's using the button now again, down the backstretch. Off of turn 14. He should make that turn on the pit road, and yes, he does.
Also, Cal Crenwell is coming, Clendy actually, is coming to the pit now. I know he's really back on the back, struggling with Miller on the back. Irving, oh my God, you have a...
He has the whole, half the field behind him right now. He's just trying to make his way around, and here he comes to pit road.
And Callisto, purple lap.
And Callisto needs to turn those purple laps. Jim Herrick getting around the 0-2 of Brian Irby there in the Miller American. Looked like the Miller American. Excuse me. That's the Whalen sponsored entry. Almost looked like Danny Sullivan's car real quick from a distance. His 85 Indy 500 winner. This is Jim Herrick leading this group. And Miller and Irby battling for their, kind of in their own race right now. This is for 17th and 18th. Right behind them is Gary Lovern in 8th. Your leader is back to being Lionel Callisto. He went 13 laps on his first stint. Can he get it to the end, or does he have to stop again? We think he needs to stop again.
So the people can finish without matters about the compound is Reagan, Mika, Collins, Stopper, Lover. That's the top, including McComini and Quilla, top 10. The other ones, I don't know. They have to come in, or the crossing lap is going to be disqualifying, so it's going to come in from top to down on the standing.
Closest battle on the racetrack. We'll find that here for you. Micah Mixer and Chris Reagan battle for third. IndyCar track record here at Road America. Of course, the kart series ran here. Now, of course, the contemporary. Look at Micah Mixer going so wide there in 5th in turn 5 there. It's now the contemporary IndyCar series. This is a regular stop for the NTT IndyCar series. Paul Tracy has the overall track record in an IndyCar at a 1:39.6 to 1 minute 39 seconds. And then Colton Herta not that far behind in the modern IndyCar, set in 2023. Now, Tracy set his in 2000. Colton Herta set his in 2023, a minute 40.8454. So just very, very close. I'm willing to bet this year they'll be slower with the added weight of the hybrid. But the IR18 getting closer to those big turbocharged cars. And here comes Michael Mixer sending it into the Canada corner. He is all over the back end of Chris Reagan. Going through Thunder Valley and the Bill Mitchell Bend. Your career wins leader here in IndyCar history is kind of your three of the greats, all-time greats. Mario Andretti, Emerson Fittipaldi, Michael Andretti. Each have 3 wins, although Michael Andretti can thank Al Unser Jr. and the horrible luck that the Unser family has here at Road America. Michael Mixer goes to the inside of Reagan and move Micah up to third. Al Unser Jr. took the white flag here in a race, I believe it was 95 or 96. I cannot recall fully. And he took the white flag here, and going down the backstretch in the Canada corner, his engine blew up and gave the lead to Michael Andretti, and that was Michael's last win here. Will Power has 2 wins, along with Alex Palou, Joseph Newgarden, Scott Dixon, Bruno Giancarlo, Paul Tracy, and Jacques Villeneuve. That is not Daddy Villeneuve. Well, that's Uncle Villeneuve, excuse me. But Jacques Villeneuve, who won the 95 Indy 500, he won here twice. Now his uncle won here once as well in the early days of kart coming to this track. So Villeneuve, the Villeneuve family has actually won here 3 times. But Jacques' nephew has won here twice. The very first race at Road America was won by Hector Rabaki, and that is his lone and only IndyCar win. And it was one of the last untelevised races ever before kind of network TV picked up IndyCar and showed it on a regular basis. The last untelevised IndyCar race did take place here back in 96 or 86, and it was due to having to reschedule some things in the 86 schedule mainly because of the rainouts for the Indy 500. Road America was pushed back to October of that year and not televised, and that was the last IndyCar race ever not televised on live TV. And if you're just joining us, this is P1's coverage of the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series coming to you from Road America. Well, we are now on lap 19, coming to 10 to go very shortly. I have a scheduled 30 laps. You're enjoying P1's coverage of tonight's race. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for future iRacing content, including tomorrow. The IndyCar Oval Series concludes its season with round 12 of the championship at New Hampshire. You can join LG and I in the booth for that. Coverage starts at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't miss it. Glendy looking to cinch up his first official iRacing championship. There he is. Our resident belt collector, our reigning and defending ISRA champion from Season 1, our reigning and defending Votive Series champion from Season 2, and our reigning and defending Horizon IndyCar Series champion from their inaugural season. He will pick up yet another championship belt to put around the waist tomorrow when the IndyCar Open Series concludes its Season 2 of 2025. Lindy trying to get some critical points in towards the championship for this season. Here is this, we've already showed you the points, but here is the schedule remaining. After today, we go to Miami, then Twin Ring Motegi, then a night race at Phoenix, then we go to Michigan, then Atlanta, then Kansas, and then in August, Championship Tuesday, or excuse me, Championship Monday in ISRA here. As August 4th, we will decide our champion for our Season 2 championship at Pocono. Lionel Callisto now lap 6 into his second stint. He had went 13 on his first stint, but we still think he needs to stop again. Unfortunately, I don't think he has enough of a delta to hold off who I think is going to assume the lead when they come, when we start doing when we go to next round of pit stops. I think that's going to be Collins, although Reagan, he is getting ready to come to his second pit stop here soon. Reagan stopped early on his first stint. He went on lap 8, coming to lap 9. He is on 11 laps into his current stint. But we'll continue to watch him. He might be on a bit of a different strategy. Jacob Collins and Stouffer, battle brewing. This is for 5th. Here comes Collins down the main straight in the draft of Stouffer.
It's really interesting about Collins, to be honest. I really,
Reagan on pit
I'm really
road.
excited about that.
Yeah, I think Collins can make it on his one stop. That's why he's probably not on the push to pass button to try to get around Stouffer. I think he's in the draft just to try to save fuel. Chris Reagan on pit road for his final stop, and he is going to the alternate red tires. So he is going to push in these final 9 laps.
Yeah, so he already put the primary to alternative. Yeah, so that's Collins. So it's 40 seconds pass from when you enter to the pit and to exit. Also, you have to come into the box, and then you exit is 40 seconds. So he have a lot of gap, and now he's 20 seconds behind of Callisto. So at least it could be having have a 15 to 20 seconds gap.
Yeah.
Now, but he need to stay in that gap to maybe, who knows, at least if you have any problems on the last lap or maybe 2 laps to go, could be at least do something and don't have problems to the end, because you can be maybe in the last lap you don't figure it out.
All right.
You can at least do something in the track, like save a little more fuel and maybe out of the fuel in the turn in turn 14, maybe, who knows, and try to just come into the half hill and win the race at least for that.
.95 degrees on the track temperature. They were watching out over the rear attenuator of Christopher, who is now in third spot. Checking chat, Final Shot asks, is it possible to be a late addition to the series? This is an invite-only series. You need to find someone who's a member to see if they can get you an invite into the series. And that is how you gain entry. And down through turn 5. Meanwhile, back up front with a 6-second lead is Lionel Callisto, and he is now coming, he is on lap 8. He's coming to lap 9 of his stint. So we know he's going to have to come to pit road probably in the next 5 laps or so. Same thing with Rick Rayvon. Rick right there in second. Christopher is in third. We saw him in battle with Jacob Collins. Jacob's just going to ride right there. Here's your push-to-pass situation. Jacob has not used the single press of the button yet. Now, we know Jacob is he's an ambassador to the Road to Indy program on iRacing and their series of races. And he's in his own right an accomplished road racer at slightly lower formula size, so the U.S. Formula Fords or the IR18s, those type of cars, and he knows what he's doing. And I'm assuming that he is not going to touch that button until he absolutely has to. We did see a car coming to pit road in the background. That is Jim Herrick.
Yep.
This will be his final stop, so Jim will be able to throw on another set of the red tires if he chooses, if he has not done so on to put the primes on already. Ooh, he's going to the primes now, so he went red first, then he's going prime last. Maybe he likes the feel of the prime, so he'll maybe be able to push hard on them in the end here, but he'll be able to push as hard as he wants on a lighter tank on the prime tires to go to the end. So that is his final stop.
Oh, what about Stoffer? Between Stoffer and Collins, they have a 1 lap different. So Stoffer have a 9 laps and Collins have 8. What if could be Stoffer the guy to maybe
that's 1 lap of fuel that he needs to save, I think. And Stoffer came to pit road on lap 13 coming to 14, whereas Collins came to pit road on 13 to 14. Colin and Stoffer came 12 to 13, so there's an extra lap there of fuel. I don't know if Stoffer could save that much fuel. I mean, saving 1 lap of fuel here is an awful lot. Glindy and Wags in a battle for position. This is for 12th. Wags in the Craco throwback livery. Mike Mosley drove that. Michael Andretti drove that. Bobby Rahal drove that. A very iconic livery in IndyCar racing. In fact, if you are a child of the 80s at all and you did any slot car collecting back in the day, the Tyco slot cars, you could get a Craco-sponsored Tyco slot car if you wanted. You can still look on eBay and find those to this day. Got a little battle brewing here. Michael Mixer, Chris Reagan again. the battle for 7th. Jim Herrick is back in 9th. Craig Forsyth, fortunately, was looking for a good finish today, but kind of got the boot going into turn 1. Struggling back in 16th now. Actually, not struggling, just kind of marred back in 16th. 1 lap down.
Callisto pit.
Callisto pit road. He is coming early. So what he's going to try to do here is put on the red tires and then have with light tanks and then push.
Mhm.
There's also another car on pit road. That is Justin Kirby.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Okay, that was
I thought you were gonna
ghosting.
have a contact.
Yeah, ghosting there, yes.
Yo, and Callisto brake because he thought it's gonna be contact. Normally in road, you and 80% have a contact for that, but that's really surprised about that. They don't have it. So George in chat said he had the Krakow Pit Crew shirt, the vintage.
You should wear it at the when we're at the Sim Gaming Expo. Leader is Rick Ravon, and while we're here again, if you're just joining us, you're watching P1's coverage of round 7 of 14 of the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series, coming to you from Road America, where we have about 6 laps to go, and we're in the middle of final stops for a lot of these drivers. Some are going to make it on one stop. We're going to see how that gamble is going to pay off here very shortly. Rick Ravon is your leader. Stouffer is second. Let's get off the push-to-pass situation, shall we? Get back to intervals and gaps. There we go. That's a better explanation of what's going on around us right now on the racetrack. But thanks for joining us. The next race for us here on in the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series is next week. We return to the ovals as we head to Vice City and to the Homestead Miami Speedway. Coverage begins at 9:35 p.m. Eastern Time right here on P1. Don't miss it. And again, racing is brought to you tonight by the Sim Gaming Expo. Get ready for the ultimate simulation gaming experience. The Sim Gaming Expo is bringing all genres of simulation and gaming technology under one single roof. Join us September 5th through 7th in Chicagoland at the Schaumburg Convention Center to try out the latest gear from the biggest brands in industry, meet your favorite streamers, and celebrate your passion for simulation with our incredible community. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now. Go to simgamingexpo.com and be a part of simulation gaming history today. I want to thank them for sponsoring the series. A lot of debris on the track, especially coming out of turn 8.
Hey. This is turn 8? Yeah, you're right. A lot of gravel stuff. Yeah, you're right. That's well, if we're talking about in real life, that's a big problem because the carousel is really demanding in the tires. Here it's like should be, yes, it's a little bit, but maybe for the car when you're trying to attack like a Kirby did with Wagner for 14. Wow.
Final stop, Rick Ravon on pit road as he's trying to shuffle a little bit to slow down. I don't think he got a black flag, but he has 81 seconds to push the pass. He's going to go probably to red tires and push, and a light tank, so expect big laps coming from him. But Jacob Collins now picks up the lead because Chris Stouffer coming to pit road. Gary Lovern coming to pit road. So Red Bull laps standing by. We're going to see a lot of big fast laps here. And there's Lionel Callisto with one. We knew he was going to have one. And he needs to put him down now because he's going to jump a number of people. And he wants to try to run down Jacob Collins. And Collins might not have to stop.
Yeah, I guess not. But you know what? Mixer is close on Raven. It's really super fast. 1 second last lap he did. So So it's really close on the Raven, 1.9 now. I can tell you the guy knows how to race in Road America, because normally you use the track to brake in turn 5, but
Yeah.
he used
A lot of that
right
runoff.
side.
Yeah, a lot of that.
Yeah.
And that is not out of bounds. And a lot of drivers kind of use that now. And I think it's been kind of popularized also in the real IndyCar racing, where the drivers will use a little bit extra of that curbing as well. So monkey see, monkey do. Four laps to go here in our first ever road course race in season 2 of the ISRA Open Wheel Series, sponsored by Sim Gaming Expo. And now 3 to go to our leader, Jacob Collins. And he has 2 lapped cars behind him. That is Justin Kirby and Matt Wagner. He can let them go. Callisto is now 4.8, now 4.7 seconds behind. These are 4 mile long laps here at Road America. A lap is about a minute 45 seconds, give or take. So we still have, even though there's only 3 laps, there's still right around 10 miles worth of racing still to go. It's still a long time to race.
There's a lot of laps in one oval, actually.
Oh, and let's get the update on the weather. Let's get the track map off. There we go. Here's the weather update. 95 degrees on the track temp. Now, I'll tell you this. If Collins can't hold off Lionel will, obviously will get the win. Collins, ultimately, I think, unless he messes up after getting past, if he does get past, I think Collins has second locked up. And so I think Rick Ray Vaughan right now, the battle might turn in the third with Rick Ray Vaughan and Micah Mixer in these last couple of laps. Coming to 2 to go around turn 14, only 8 miles left as Wags falls behind Kirby. And Wags might slow down and throw a little bit of clean drafting air to his part-time teammate right behind him. That is Lionel Callisto. And that might be what he's trying to do, is give a little bit of a tug and pull down the straight to help him out. 3.4 seconds. And Callisto can see his target. Meanwhile, Collins being raced by Kirby, and he's only just, he's smart to let Kirby go, and he does.
Oh.
And now Callisto around Wags. So now Callisto in direct contact with Jacob Collins for the lead. This race isn't over yet, guys. Don't go anywhere.
He's going fuel attack with the primary tires. So actually, very surprised with the performance of Collins in track.
Well, I mean, Collins now has the draft of Kirby this time, much like how last time Wags was kind of helping out Lionel. That Collins has Kirby's help, and all he needs to do is hit his marks for another lap and a quarter, and this race is his on a one-stopper.
The only thing he needs to pray is Kirby is fast on front of him, because it's really annoying when it's somebody. Oh no, it's coming to the pit. It's out of the fuel.
No, Jacob Collins coming to pit road. He couldn't stretch it, and that's going to turn the lead over to Lionel Callisto. Oh, we thought there was a possibility. So that puts Rick Ray Vaughan in second. Jacob still needs to stop at his stall. Micah Mixer will now pick up third. Oh,
Man,
coming to the
nice
white
try.
flag. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. And he cannot do it on a one-stopper. The one that's going to be able to do it on a one-stopper is Tequila, excuse me. And he's going to go to 5th, and he's actually going to jump his teammate. And actually, Ty is within shot of Chris Reagan. Well, success, and here comes Ty. Here comes Quilla to the inside of Reagan and the 5, and he gets it. Move Ty up the 4th. But remember, Reagan on those slightly fresher red tires. Getting back to the leader, though. Success has been fleeting for Lionel Callisto in the Open Wheel Series. So close on a number of occasions, has not got that win. But a win in the Indy cars will give him a win in trucks, a win in Xfinity, and a win in open wheelers. Not many in this league can say they could do that. And he's going to get his first win here in the open wheelers at Road America in a race where he just remained patient, stayed on strategy, and he's going to get the win. Lionel Callisto, your win today at Road America. Rick Ray Vaughn in seconds. And Micah Mixer, their best finish in the series, coming home 3rd. Tyquilla is going to drag race Chris Reagan to the line, and Ty on a one-stopper comes home 4th. Chris Reagan in 5th. And Jacob Collins in 5th and 6th. What's that?
Man, Quilla crossed the line with out of fuel.
Oh, listen. He is dead stick, yes.
Man, how he did that? So, nice job on Quilla in there.
And there are your final standings here from Road America. Lionel Callisto, first win in the Open Wheel Series, comes home with a 7-second win over Rick Ray Vaughn in second. Another podium for Rick. And this bodes well for Rick because we know he does well on the ovals, and for him to get a good win or a good finish here on the road course is just as good as a win almost. Rick second. Micah Mixer, best finish ever in the ISRA, comes home in 3rd. Tyquilla 4th. Chris Reagan in 5th. Jacob Collins 6th. Gary Lovern top 10 and 7th. Jim Herrick, good finish for Jimmy in 8th. Christopher 9th. Rigney, our points leader, in 10th. We'll see how the points shake out. Woo! As Callisto comes to a sliding stop and splits 2 drivers going by him. One of them, I think, was Wags. And Richie Hurd at 11th. Clindy at 12th. Mark Amini 13th. Kirby 14th. Wags 15th. Craig Forsyth 16th. Irby 17th. Rory Miller in 18th. What is this? Why are they touching tips? Come on, guys. Come on. And he pushes him back into the wall. That's not cool. See. We'll get some replays queued up here. right. Unfortunately, we went back so far in the replay. We'll be talking to Micah as we watch his car tail off into the turn 1 kitty litter on the first lap. But we'll talk to Micah about this. This might have been a good opportunity for Micah to get a win if he didn't have that. Whatever happened in that turn 1 fracas. All right. And let's get some of these graphics off my other screen here so I can see what I'm doing. All right, let's get into the interview room and bring up Micah Mixer. And here is Micah Mixer. Congratulations, Micah. We're actually going to watch your moment of the race, unfortunately, during our replay package. The turn 1 incident, we'll talk about that next. But if it wasn't for that turn 1 incident, really, this could have been your race, finishing third there and very strong at the end. Talk about your race. I think the whole strategy for you kind of changed. Going into turn 1, it was one thing, and then coming out of turn 1 on lap 1, you go to a second, another strategy altogether.
Yeah. I went into one, and I normally go to spotter calls for incidents like that, and I just didn't get one, so I didn't really know he was there or how far he was there. So unfortunate for that. Looking at it, it kind of looks like a racing incident, which sucks. But I hate to see that many people get taken out in turn 1.
Well, that definitely it definitely changes your strategy. I mean, I think you know, one strategy, you're like, okay, I'm starting at the front of the field. I got the alternate tires on. I know what I'm going to do now. Did your strategy change at all once you got cycled to the back and put in the mid pack with that incident on the first lap?
Yeah, for I think 2 or 3 laps there, I went straight into map 5, thinking I might be able to fuel save. But I realized very quickly, I was like, yeah, maybe 4 laps of fuel saving is a bit much in a 30-lap race. So I just went full push after that and made it up to P3 somehow.
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable. I mean, almost from the penthouse to the outhouse and then back to the penthouse. You got to feel like a P3 is almost like a win, considering how the race started.
Yeah, I love recovery drives, and that was definitely a recovery drive.
Well, you're still fairly new to the league, so welcome to the podium. Congratulations. Any shout-outs, any friends, family, sponsors, anyone you want to say hi to before we let you go on this big finish here today at the road course?
I just want to thank Eli Singh, or Punju, as you can see him on my side pod there. I run in his team, and he lets me run these liveries, and I'm grateful for that. And also Nick Bakeen for making the livery.
It is definitely a very eye-catching, colorful livery.
Also, you can find me on Twitter at 5TIG_. I don't really post much, but you can find me there.
All right, well, congratulations, man. Great recovery drive. Started on the front row, got booted to the mid-pack going into turn 1 on lap 1, but drives to survive and does more than that. He brings it home on the bottom step of the podium. Congratulations. Excellent drive. We will catch you when we return to the ovals next week at Homestead, Miami.
Thank you very much.
Great run there by Micah. We'll bring up here Rick. And here he is. And here is Rick. Now, through most of my time knowing you, Rick, you've always been kind of the oval meister, but you've always told me I'm pretty good on these road courses. And you put some practice in and over all these years on the sims. Now you're pretty good. And you get up there today, you start up near the front, you kind of make it through that first lap, first turn carnage. And then now you can kind of set into a bit of a strategy and a bit of a pursuit there on the leaders. And you come home second here, which, you know, it is kind of a rogue race, so to speak, here in the schedule. It's just one road course race, but you got to feel almost like a win for doing so well. And then we're going right back to the ovals, which is your strength. So you got to feel pretty good about all things considered.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. It's a shame that that lap one, turn one incident. It looks like Mika got together with Richie Hearn, and they spun, and I was already down there on the inside, and Forsyth slowed up and moved over to the right, and I was just there. So I was just lucky not to get any wing damage. Sorry, sorry for Craig, but that was just a cluster over there. But that allowed Callisto to get away, and I was hoping because Road America has those really long straightaways, and if you could stay close, you could just kind of stay with somebody in the draft. So I was counting on that, but he was already 2.5, almost 3 seconds in front, and it was everything that I could do to try to run him down so that I could at least stay with him. But he was so quick. We couldn't match his pace once we lost the draft. So it was just a matter of hanging on the second, and Jacob Collins was back there, and he got by me for a second, and his red tires wore out. So I was able to get back by him, put a little distance between us. From the beginning of the race, I knew it was going to be a 2-stop race. I tried to, in practice, I practiced to see if I could maybe conserve and make it a 1-stop, and there was just no way. You'd have to conserve a whole lap of fuel. So I'd rather be running at pace.
Yeah.
And once Callisto broke that draft and started pulling away, that was it. It was just a matter of settling for second. But, that was a fun race. I've really grown to love the road courses over the last several years. Yeah, I'm pattern after Rick Mears, love the ovals, but the more road course racing I do, the more I love it. So I've actually, I've gotten to be pretty good at the road courses too. So that was a lot of fun. I wish we'd run more road courses in the season and kind of mix it up,
Rick had a handful of road course wins through his career, so he was really no stranger to him at all. He just seemed to be that his strengths really were the ovals, but he got a couple of dubs, about 4 of them, I think, on the road courses.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
So, yeah, nothing wrong there. Well, congratulations. I mean, great run. Points are updated now. You are now Rigney is the points leader still by 307 points. Jacob Collins is second with 302. Boy, Jacob might have been the points leader coming out of this race if he was able to get one more lap worth of fuel there and get the win, but he fell back to 6th, and that kind of cost him some points. Yeah.
I thought he snookered us there. I was watching the gap, and I saw that Lionel was right on him, like 2.5, 3 seconds back, and I'm like, Lionel's quick enough to run him down. Something could happen up there, and if they tangle, I still have a shot to win this thing.
Right, for sure.
Then I heard Jacob say going in with like 1 lap to go, and I'm like, oh man, Callisto's got it. It's over.
Yeah, coming to the white flag, that had to be painful. Clindy is now third. So it is a 307, 302 for Collins. Clindy 284, defending series champion. He's 18 behind, and you are 3 behind Clindy in 4th. 1 point ahead of Craig Forsyth, 3 points, 4 points ahead of Callisto, and about 6, 7 points ahead of Wags. I mean, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, you guys are all right on top of one another right now. So second half of the season, I mean, everything is critical going in the second half of this season with the points. It's just one bad race, and you could possibly go down 3 positions in the standings.
Yeah, the way this season started, I mean, we had a 3rd at Milwaukee, but, pretty much every other race was kind of a bust. It was one thing after another, so I kind of wrote it off, but it's nice to know that we're back in the thick of it, and we have a shot at it. Certainly not going to say we're going to win it because these guys are so tough to beat, but hey, look, we've got a shot at it. With a little luck, you never know.
Well, a little luck and a whole lot of skill we know you have. Congratulations on the P2 here today. Shout-outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone you want to say hi to before we let you go?
Oh, sure. I'd like to say hi to Gary Godso, the world's greatest sim racing announcer. Yes, I'm going to flatter you. Of course I'm going to flatter you. You are the man, and everybody knows it. You may not know it because you're humble, but everybody else knows it. Shout out to Mike Rigney. Thank you so much for ISRA. And Richie Hearn. He's the one that brought me into this league, and I really couldn't be happier. This is such a well-run league, and I've been through my share of leagues. Some have been pretty well-run, and others are just kind of like a joke. But this is one of the best, if not the best, run league that I've ever run in. So I'm really grateful. Thank you, Mike. Thanks to all the drivers out there. I just want to also congratulate Lionel Callisto. Fantastic job, dude. I mean, you are definitely the road course master. There was no catching you, and you were just fantastic. So congratulations on this victory. Well deserved victory. The Lord Jesus for dying on the cross for me. I love you, Lord Jesus, with all my heart, soul, mind, and breath. Shout out to my wife. Shout out to my kids. And, they don't care. Anybody who's watching, thank you for the support, everybody. And let me see. Anything else? I think that's about it. P1 Broadcasting, the best to ever go down. Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much, Rick. We appreciate it. And I will remain humble, but thanks for the flattery. I have a friend that says compliments will get you everywhere, but flattery will get you nowhere. I don't know about that, but either way, we're going to see you in a week or so at Homestead, Miami. So we'll see you there. Congratulations, and we'll see you at the next one.
Thank you, Gary, and thank you for doing this. I don't know, where have you been all my life calling sim races? You should have been here like 20 years ago. Man, that would have been awesome.
I was, and we didn't have streaming then, and I was a much better racer back then because of you. So,
oh, that's very nice of you to say. Well, look, man, it was fun working with you. It was fantastic. That's definitely the good old days. Maybe someday we could do it again if you could peel yourself away from the mic. Oh, by the way, hi, Lewis. He's always like lurking in the background, but always quiet.
Say hi,
I
Lewis.
just here, listen. I listen, yes.
I'm here. I just listen. All right. Thanks, Rick. We'll catch you in the next one, man.
I love you guys. Take care. God bless.
All right. Lionel Callisto, we'll bring him on up. And here he is. Not only does he go down in ISRA history for being a winner in the Truck Series, a champion there, and a winner in the Xfinity Series and champion there, but also a winner in the Open Wheel Series, and now our first winner ever on a road course in the Open Wheel Series. Congratulations. Checking off a lot of box for trivia questions here in the league. Congratulations, Lionel. Win today, and unfortunately for Jacob Collins, just didn't have the fuel conservation to get that one last lap in, while you did on your strategy. You knew that you needed to do 2 stops and made that work.
Oh, I was sweating. Honestly, I thought Collins was going to get it. Like, I didn't think I can keep up, and my tires were starting to go bad. But then I saw him like pit. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm going to make it. But fun race. I mean, it was great. So I just try to stay like consistent without making mistakes, and yeah, just try to stay in the track. Lucky, like the last lap, I didn't lose my connection like I did in I think it was like Homestead.
Oh, geez, yes.
Final lap.
Yeah, I remember that too. Got one taken away from you. Let's talk about this race. I mean, I know you put at least a little practice in and found out that getting to 15 was going to be really, really tough. That's when you made probably the decision that you're going to have to make 2 stops out of this thing at least. And starting on the harder of the 2 tires in this race, how hard of a decision was it to go with the hard tires? And did you want to go with the alts, or was there a no choice in your, or no decision in your mind? Yet you're definitely 100% going with the prime tires for the first stint.
Start of the race, I was debating, but it was tough. Like, I just decided to go hard. I was worried about the other guys going soft. They're going to pass me. But then again, I'm like, hey, maybe I could hold them off a little bit. And then the last stop, just go on the soft red tires. After 2 laps, I knew I was not going to make it on fuel just because I was leading. And even I had the fuel saving like on. I knew I was not going to make it on a 1 stop. So I just pushed hard and just tried to get away from their draft. Yeah.
I'm sure it helped out a little bit there that I don't know if you saw the carnage, maybe you heard it, I don't know, but the turn 1, lap 1, that allowed you a little bit of a buffer as well, that normally on the first lap people are pushing really hard just to kind of make up that delta on the very first lap, but by the time you got to turn 5, I mean, you already had about a 2-second lead on everybody because of what happened in turn 1.
Yeah, exactly. I was just trying to get away. I was pretty lucky to get a good little buffer so they don't catch my draft. But yeah, usually those first laps, like around this track, it's just chaos. It's where you have to pass, because once you get spread out, it's hard to make up time.
Well, we do have the points updated. I don't know if you've seen it yet. We just updated everybody. You're now 6th in points. You are only 3 behind Craig Forsyth. You have 277. Craig has 280. Rick has 281, and Clindy has 284. So, again, not very far to go to get to 3rd. And then with that even, Jacob Collins is in 2nd in the points, only 5 behind Rigney, who's the points leader. You're not that far away from the top of the points, and we still have another half of the season to go. How do you feel about this campaign versus the first season where it just didn't shake out in your favor an awful lot?
Just trying to not make some mistakes. Usually each race I'll make a bonehead mistake, like speeding the pit road, or lose connection to my steering wheel or something like that, or internet connection. Like, I think that's what happened in Indy, where like during the pace lap, my controller just disconnected and I had to out force. I don't take anybody out, just disconnect the game. But I need to finish consistently in the top 5 if I wanted to compete with those guys. There's a lot of fast guys in this league, and I just can't make any more mistakes.
Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors on the first big win here in Open Wheel.
P1, you guys are awesome. Gary, LGN, love watching the broadcast after the race, and everybody involved in this league, all the racers here. Everybody. Thank you guys.
No problem. It is our pleasure to call these races, and it's always good to see another first-time winner. Congratulations, finally getting that long. We just knew it was a matter of time. It was just when Lionel was going to get his win here in the Open Wheelers, and you got it today here at Road America. Congratulations, and we'll catch you in a week when we move back to the ovals at Homestead, Miami.
Hey, thank you guys.
Lewis, we made it through the first road course race. It wasn't that bad. It was actually turned out to be pretty exciting there at the end. A little bit of drama if that one-stopper strategy was going to work for Jacob. I think Jacob, again, much in the same way with Jacob, as I said with Lionel, it's not when or if he's going to win, it's just when he's going to win. You know Jacob's going to win. He almost got it today. We thought mathematically it was possible considering how far he went on his first stint, but it just wasn't in the cards on that second stint. Lionel gets the win today. Rick comes home 2nd, and Micah Mixer gets his best finish in 3rd. What'd you think of the race?
It was pretty good, actually. I thought it was going to be like kind of boring around. Unfortunately, they took it off day because it's just a mix. The people was around, took it off. Kirby, Forsyth, Richie Hearn, what else? Yeah, all these guys could be make in trouble. Callisto, Mixer have in trouble. He went to the pit. Actually, I'm not sure if he went to the pit or not, but he came back to 3rd after all that incident. And the only thing is I pointing over here is if you have a good performance in road and you're coming here to enjoy this race, just make the qualifying, go to the front, and what if you could win the race by strategy? For example, Taquila, he only pitted one time.
In the one stopper, yes.
Yeah, and he finished 4th. He have a 12 spot win today. He started 16 because you have this feeling like, in turn 1, it's going to happen something. I'm going to end my race. Or all of these names is going to pass me. I'm going to finish maybe 6 or 7. But he finished 4. I have a really strong performance, and that's the thing he did, and he did a pretty good job because he finished at 22 seconds, and it could be finished in maybe who knows 7 or 5 or 3 seconds in front of Callisto, and could be win the race by strategy, not for performance. So that's the thing. Sometimes the strategy is better than the performance, and could be make wins races. So and some of the people in IndyCar and real life win the race by for strategy and not for performance. So that's a good thing. So the from 10 in the standing is 85 points. From fifth is Craig Forsyth is 30 points. So it's really close, and I know we still have a lot to do in this championship, and basically we almost, or maybe we are halfway for the championship. So it's gonna be still these two last races until we have another break until July. It's gonna be decide maybe the panorama or maybe the vision on the future is gonna be in contender for the championship, but Ringney need to at least still count top five to have a regular race to at least on the end of the race, on the end of the season, could be the champion in Pocono. So it's gonna be pretty good. So Homestead next week. Let's see what's happened. Tomorrow is New Hampshire. Clendy proclaimed the champion. Today, Karim Barrel in the Open. So tomorrow, Clendy just finish the race and be the champion on Pixel Series. So see you tomorrow. See you Monday in ISRA on Homestead.
7 down, 7 to go. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Let's get on out of here and give everyone back their Monday nights. So that's it for today. Once again, your podium here from Road America. For the first time in series history, we hit the road course. Lionel Callisto is going to go down as that trivia question is getting the win here. Rick Ravon gets a very critical second place finish. Micah gets their best finish ever in the league today, right here. So good things, everything looking up for everybody on this podium. Join P1 again next week for round 8 of season 2 of the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series. As the teams and drivers head back to Homestead Miami Speedway, where we had our first ever race in the Open Wheelers. Coverage begins around 9:35 or 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Remember, it's 930-935. Just be on by 9:30. You're going to catch us. You won't miss us. Remember, as always, for the correct broadcast time in your area, find everything right here at YouTube at youtube.com/P1 Broadcasting. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know your thought on tonight's race. If you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more P1's other iRacing programming, including the iRacing IndyCar Oval Series tomorrow night. It's Championship Tuesday at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Coverage starts at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to crown a champion one way or another tomorrow night, so you don't want to miss it. Tune in, find out who it might be. It might be Clendy. ISRA Open Wheel Series is brought to you by the Sim Gaming Expo. Get ready for the ultimate simulation gaming experience. The Sim Gaming Expo is bringing all genres of simulation and gaming technology all under one roof. Join us September 5th through 7th in Chicagoland at the Schaumburg Convention Center to try out the latest gear from the biggest brands in the industry, meet your favorite streamers, and celebrate your passion for simulation with our incredible community. Don't miss out. To learn more or to get your tickets now. Yes, get your tickets now. Go to simgamingexpo.com and be a part of simulation gaming history today. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook, follow them on X and Instagram. All the links you need are in the description. So, for Luis Gonzalez Nunez, everyone here at P1 and the Sim Gaming Expo and the ISRA, I'm Gary Gotzo saying to all, good night. Thanks for watching. To all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here next week at Homestead Miami Speedway for the next race of the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series, all right here on P1. Good night.